Hello everyone, welcome back to another animatronic skinning video. Now, this little guy is a FurReal Friends Biscuit. He was released in 2007 and is no longer being made. There are a bunch of different FurReal dogs out there, but I believe that Biscuit is the biggest. And for this project, I definitely wanted a bigger dog. I'm planning on turning him into Fetch from Five Nights at Freddy's. Some of you guys will know this, but Fetch isn't in any of the games. He's only in the second Fazbear Frights book, Fetch. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend reading it if you like Five Nights at Freddy's. Because he's discontinued, this Biscuit animatronic was really hard to track down. But I did eventually find someone selling him, and here we are. Now, to be honest, all animatronics are like pretty fragile, but Biscuit in particular, they all seem to break. And it's almost always his front legs. I've read some very sad reviews on Amazon for him, and I've just started posting about this over on my TikTok, and I've already had a couple of people come and say that theirs broke really easily. And I'm telling you all this because I need you to understand how stressful this was. Every time I skin a new animatronic, I risk cutting the wires, and I really don't want that to happen. I would be heartbroken if I was this excited for a new project, and then right at the very start, cut a wire by mistake, and the whole thing just stopped moving. It hasn't happened yet, but it is a very real fear of mine. Another thing about Biscuit is that the sheer majority of them have another issue with their legs. Biscuit's front legs move, and almost all of the ones that I've found available for sale online, their front legs have just bowed, and they end up looking a little odd. And I was fully expecting to get a Biscuit just like that, but somehow the one I ended up with was in perfect condition. Like, in the box with his bone, collar, tag, and hairbrush. It even still had the manual. It is honestly incredible, and it's made my job a lot easier. I felt kind of bad skinning him because of that. I would prefer to skin one that's in really bad condition. Like, still working, but if it was heavily damaged, that would be perfect. But I just haven't found that many Biscuits for sale in Australia. And shipping something like this to Australia costs hundreds of dollars. So I did what had to be done and skinned the most perfect Biscuit in the world. My apologies to the collectors. Normally when I skin an animatronic, I try and cut along the seams, because depending on the project, the shape of the body usually doesn't change that much. And using the old fur as a pattern saves me from repatterning it myself. Unfortunately, that was just not possible with Biscuit. He was incredibly difficult to skin, especially where his legs meet his body. The front legs aren't removable, but I had to fully unscrew and take off his back legs to get that fur out. The whole skinning process was very stressful, and it took about 75 minutes. Anyway, I've spent enough time talking about the issues with this animatronic. So let's talk about what Biscuit can do, and then I'm going to show you guys him on without the fur so we can see how he works. So Biscuit has 7 touch sensors. Most of them have that silver patch on them, but there's also one in his mouth and nose. He also has a light sensor and a microphone. Because of his light sensor, if you leave him in a dark room, he'll go to sleep and wake back up again when you turn the light on. And the microphone is for voice commands. So much like with Butterscotch, the giant horse animatronic that I turned into Candymare, Biscuit will actually respond to your voice. Outside of the actual commands, Biscuit has a lot of movement. He moves his eyes and mouth, wags his tail, moves his head around, and moves from lying down to sitting up to begging interchangeably. I love it when animatronics have a lot of mobility. Also, every time he moves, Biscuit makes a loud, robotic whirring sound, which might break the immersion of the toy, but is perfect for Fetch. The way that Biscuit works is just absolutely fascinating to me. I think he looks awesome without the fur, and he is just such a cool animatronic. Even though Fetch isn't the most well-known FNAF character, I am so excited to turn this Biscuit into him. As always, when he's finished, I'll be posting a video explaining how I customized him. So feel free to subscribe if you'd like to. Thank you so much for watching. Here he is without his fur. Lie down. Biscuit, sit up and beg.